okay, society, I don't get to make a choice over. Like, I don't get to speak for what somebody, 50, 60 years ago did because I'm 27.
Yeah, but what about
But
now?
if you're going to sit there and try and blame me, so what do I have to do with any of this? Am I sitting there in Supreme Court making these choices?
No, but there's lots of things you can do to make
No,
sure that,
there you go. There you go. I am not in support. I'm not in the Supreme Court sitting there making these choices. Therefore, you cannot blame me for these issues.
Do you vote?
No, because politicians are idiots. They are all liars, and they never do what they say they're going to do. So why the fuck would I want to vote for the lesser of two evils when neither of them can even tell the truth?
You know that Donald Trump promised that he would overturn Roe? So if anything, you should have voted against Trump just to make sure there was an extra vote.
I didn't vote. Biden's fucking the economy. People can't drive a fucking mile without having to spend $6 on gas. And you want to talk about how Biden's better? No, neither of them were good. Biden may have been the lesser of two evils, but he's still fucking everybody over.
You understand that Biden is not the reason why gas prices are high, right? Do you think Biden...
No, but he didn't do anything to stop it.
Do you think that Biden... Actually, he did. Do you know there was a price gouging bill?
No, he didn't.
There was a price gouging bill about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and Republicans voted against price gouging laws. So, Republicans...
You also realize that Biden wanted to raise the minimum wage to $15, meaning that the price of living and cost of everything would be doubled.
Talking about gas, can you... Okay, so how do you think the gas prices around the world are so high? You think Biden controls the gas all over the world?
No, but he had a big say in it.
How? Well, he had a big say in the world's gas prices.
He is literally the president of the United States.
And you think that he has control over the gas prices around the world?
I don't think he has control over it, but he has a say in it as a member of the United Nations, the U.S. being part of the United Nations. He's one of the people who goes to speak into the United Nations. Yeah, I think...
We need to go back. You think that the United Nations are the ones that make gas prices?
The United Nations is the community of people from around the world who make decisions about the world.
You think
you would know this if you took freaking basic, history class and geography and all the cultural shit. You would know this if you actually fucking paid attention in school. The UN literally has choices on everything around the world.
Please, can you please tell me again that what does the UN do for gas prices?
What country is, currently under attack by Russia? And for what reason?
But what does that have to do with the UN or gas prices?
Because the Ukraine has the pipeline that runs directly through their country. Russia wants to take control of that. Okay, the UN doesn't give a shit.
What does that have to do with the UN?
Because they are literally part of the fucking UN. Like you know what the United Nations is, right? Yes? You realize that the leaders of every country are part of...
Do you know what the UN is?
Yes, obviously.
Okay, well, maybe I didn't pay attention in school. Can you explain what the UN has to do with gas prices?
They literally make the choices on a lot of things that happen around the world.
Like what? Gas prices?
What happens with pipelines, pretty much. Because big businesses have to make sure that they can run through other countries, right? If you're an oil company, you have to make sure that if you want to run through another country, you have to talk to their leader. The leaders have to speak with other leaders in order to be like, should we do this or not?
What do you mean?
Because everything in the world comes down to money.
Okay, but I still just need... Okay, I'm not understanding what that has to do with gas prices in the UN.
This is comical.
Because Biden is part of the UN.
Okay,
the Alaskan pipeline was shut down upon his advisement.
Wait, the pipeline in Europe or the pipeline here?
The pipeline in Alaska, the Alaskan to Europe pipeline. Yeah, the one where we get all our oil from and our petrol and stuff was shut down.
Are you talking about
Because
the
he
Keystone
advised it.
XL pipeline? Because the Keystone XL pipeline did not run from Alaska to Europe.
There is an Alaskan pipeline, though.
That Biden shut
But to
down.
Europe?
Yeah, because that's geographically impossible.
Okay, I could be wrong.
There is
Well, considering there's like a narrow strait that you could during certain times of the world that you can literally just drive across and go from Europe to Alaska. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that they've laid enough pipeline to do that.
Wait. What is west of Alaska? Tell me
Europe.
what is west of Alaska.
What?
Europe and Asia.
Okay, where's Hawaii?
Hawaii is in the
Yeah,
southwest part of the U.S., floating in the Pacific because it's an island, you know?
Okay, and then wouldn't Alaska be like somewhere north of that? Like on the other side?
Oh my god, holy shit, are you fucking dumb? Have you looked at a globe lately? Do you know where fucking Europe and Alaska are?
We know where both of these things are. Yes, I'm laughing.
Do you though?
I'm laughing at the idea.
Do you?
Alaska touches Europe.
I didn't say it touches. I said there are certain times of the year where they do have it, where the ice freezes over. You know, the water freezes over, and they can make a trek across. Go ahead and Google it if you don't believe me.
No, I'm.
Like, I understand they're not far, but like.
So I think what you're saying is that Alaska touches the Eurasian continent.
Yeah.
Right. Not Europe though.
What I'm saying is that certain times of the year that does happen.
I understand. But my point is, you're not saying Europe. You're saying the Eurasian continent, right?
Yeah, I guess if that's what you.
That's a very.
Think Eurasia was still. Didn't know people still used Eurasia, but okay.
But you know that like north of Hawaii on that side is where Alaska is.
I mean, yeah, if you go far enough north, literally everything could be north. You know, if you go far enough south, everything will be north of something.
No, okay, like, so, like, you know where, like, Washington is? Washington State? And, like, Oregon's over
Obviously.
there. British Columbia. Alaska's on top of that.
British Columbia? Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure that's not British Columbia.
British Columbia is the Canadian
it's
province.
Canada. Okay.
Oh my God, bro. Yeah,
okay.
BC, Canada. British Columbia,
Do you
Canada.
know that, like, there's a province called British Columbia? Which is, like, where Vancouver...
Yes, I'm aware of this.
Okay.
I mean, you just sounded pretty unaware.
Yeah, it's called British Columbia, and it's in Canada. And it's, like, what separates...
Then I stand corrected. I'm sorry.
Okay. Progress.
Okay.
So
okay. Like, yeah, it's like Alaska's on that side.
The U.S.
Like Alaska's in the same time zone as like Washington, like closer to that time zone. It's not on the East Coast.
Okay.
The United States receives 8% or less of its oil from Russia. Like only about 8% of U.S. crude oil is Russian import. So like we lost.
Yes,
we lost a very minuscule amount of oil import that was very easy to get elsewhere.
But we also have the Alaskan pipeline that was shut down by the U.S. government.
Biden shut down construction of the Keystone XL pipeline, but not the Alaskan pipeline, as far as I know.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I think we're getting off topic. My apologies.
I still want to know.
Definitely way off topic, but I mean.
Oh, they did. I still want to know about the UN thing with the gas. I'm still just confused about that.
Like I said, the UN makes decisions on pretty much everything that goes on around the world to make sure that everything is, tip-top shape and that there aren't problems with other countries. And if there are, then they gather together. And that's one of those problems being oil, because that's literally the biggest thing that we've been fighting for. They have to make decisions on that.
Yeah, but like Biden doesn't control the cost of oil in China.
No, Biden himself does not. but he can
doesn't
certainly make a point to. He can certainly make a point to advise that certain things be raised. And in this case, because the government is very controlling and trying to control people, one of the best ways to do that is force people to spend more money so they have less money to actually do what they want, thus relying on the government to give them more money.
Yeah, I mean, fuel works on a supply and demand unless it's being gouged by oil companies, which it currently is, because oil executives have made record profits this quarter, and at the same time are just transferring higher price to consumers, right? So then the Democrats in office proposed a bill to stop them from gouging the price of fuel, which they were scapegoating on Russia, right? Despite Russia not being responsible for U.S. gas prices. They scapegoated Russia. And when the Democrats came together and wrote a bill that said, hey, we need to stop these gas companies from gouging the price of fuel, Republicans unanimously shut it down. So I'm not sure how that would be related to Biden, because it sounds like his party tried to enact legislation to stop exactly that.
I don't know. Like, I know that a lot of the issues that have been happening during Biden's presidency. So it's
you didn't vote.
Maybe
You didn't vote, so you shouldn't have an opinion on it. We'll use your own.
But I live here, don't I? Don't I?
Oh, just like you don't have a uterus, remember? And just like I don't have hangy noodles, so I don't have an opinion on your perspective. That's your whole like MO.
The difference here is that I actually do get to have an opinion because I pay for my own rent. Therefore, when rent goes up, that is my problem.
You didn't do anything about it, though. So you're one of those people that doesn't.
Again, why would I want somebody who lies in office?
You're one of those people that doesn't vote and then complains about how other people fucking voted.
Your votes don't matter. That's the thing.
Sit here and I'm gonna.
Your votes literally do not matter.
Shit happens. I'm gonna cry about it, even though I didn't do anything. And then
your votes literally do not matter.
Do nothing again, and then I'm gonna fucking cry about that. Wow, good job.
Your votes literally do not matter. Your votes do not matter.
Votes don't matter, but you still.
Sorry, can you repeat that? You were cutting out.
Oh crap!
You got back.
Yeah, we got feedback, bro.
There it is.
We got feedback, like half hour.
All right, how y'all doing today?
Right.
All right,
Doing all right for the most part.
The sanctions were put out by Santos to stop the Alaskan pipe or the Nord pipeline. When Biden came into office, he released those sanctions, allowing Biden to and again.
Okay.
And there is no time at all when you can drive from Alaska to Russia across that Baltic Sea, or not Baltic Sea, but the Bering Sea. It's too deep, it's too treacherous, and you can never drive across it ever.
Well,
but
I guess I should have chose my words. I guess I should have chosen my words a bit more carefully. I know that you can make a trek across. Like, I'm sure you can walk across it, but
no, it's probably 300-400 miles, but at the closest points. But yeah, you can never drive across.
Yeah, probably. Okay, yeah, I should have chosen my words more carefully with not said drive, because that, yeah. But you can certainly walk across it, or even use a sled, or whatever.
Orient.
That sea doesn't freeze. It's too much salt water.
What? You can walk across the what?
Ice to Russia? No, that is all ocean water. It's too salty to freeze.
I say.
Yeah.
It can actually, salt water can freeze. It just requires a lower temperature to do so.
Okay.
It does not get that cold there.
What did you say?
Go watch The Deadliest Catch and see how treacherous that water is.
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed
I know how treacherous that water is, but what I'm saying is that there are certain times of the year where it does. And it's a minuscule amount, so it's like you have to be right there at the most opportune time, but it does happen.
No.
Okay.
Maybe 3,000 years, 30,000 years ago when that was all ice cap.
Yeah, like, even if that is true, that was already a dead plan anyways, because the ice caps are melting, so any, like, temporary ice bridge is going to be gone in the next 5 or less.
Either way, okay.
All right.
So, you got anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to touch on the toxic masculinity thing. What is defined as toxic masculinity? I want to know, in your opinion.
We're supposed to debate. I'm not supposed to be teaching you stuff.
You literally ask for the opinion of somebody else so you can debate that. That's what a debate is.
No, a debate
you ask for their opinion. Okay, just tell me what your opinion of... Tell me what you define as toxic masculinity.
No, but that's not how a debate works. A debate is like you both know what something is, and then one person debates that it is true.
I'm well aware of what society deems as toxic masculinity. I want to know what your thoughts are.
Why don't you think toxic masculinity is cool? If we both know what it is, that's fine.
I never said it's not harmful. Toxic. I just want to know what you deem as toxic masculinity.
Not a debate. We're not debating.
Because you're a woman. I want to know what your opinion as a woman is on toxic masculinity. What you define it as.
If we both know what it is and we agree that it's harmful, then there's nothing to debate there.
So then why even have it in the topic list in the first place?
Because other people think it's not harmful.
Other people think that it doesn't exist. Other people think that it's not
So
harmful.
am I not allowed to ask you what your opinion is? Because
you're asking
how am I supposed to try and debate? How am I supposed to debate something if I don't know what you think about it?
So but no. But I don't make up.
How am I supposed to debate something if you won't even tell me what you define it as?
With us.
If you agree that it's harmful and we both know what it is, because there's not my definition and your definition. There's just a definition, right? There's one singular definition. And if you agree that it's harmful...
But as a man, I think I have more experience on how to, debunk certain things than, a woman would in regards to toxic masculinity.
Don't you think it would actually be the women that suffer from it more? Because they have to be victims of misogyny and a patriarchy?
Do you even... Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know what June is notable for? Sorry.
June has a lot of different stuff. It's Pride, it's Indigenous Heritage Month, it's Caribbean Heritage Month, and it's Men's Mental Health Month.
And Juneteenth.
Men's mental health. Men's mental health. There we go. A lot of toxic masculinity is actually a direct result of the fact that men suffer through so much pain and have to literally keep it silent.
Stop.
Don't talk over me.
Stop.
Look at you. You are going to literally blame men for your problems.
We agree.
Men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women because women treat them like shit.
That's not what we're arguing. This isn't an oppression Olympics. If we both agree that it's harmful, you're just proving that it's harmful. I'm telling you I agree with that. Why are you fucking yelling at me?
You're not saying that you agree with that, though. You're trying to tell me that I'm wrong here.
Masculinity is harmful. I fucking agree with you. It literally fucking says that in the background. It is harmful. You know why? Because they unalive at higher risks. I fucking understand.
Ice in a toilet.
You have to also understand where the origin of toxic masculinity. Men become toxic and treat people the way they do.
I agree with you. It is harmful. It causes bad things for society. I agree.
So why debate it?
Why are you yelling at me?
That's a good question. Why even debate it at this point? Why add it as a
Some people,
as a
that's
debate?
what a debate is. Some people fucking, oh my God. I'm fucking moving on. Hello.
Hello.
What's your take?
I'm from Alaska. First of all, I'm super mad that you guys were saying that Russia isn't right there, and you can definitely walk across, and it's definitely frozen. It's definitely frozen for at least like 4 or 5 months. You know what I mean? You have to wait for it. I worked on the oil fields up there, and they'd wait for the ice roads to come in to bring the trucks across to the islands and stuff. Yeah. If you actually look up, is it like this? Not the saber-tooth, but the Siberian tigers. They were coming over from Russia, and they were eating all like the antelopes and stuff, and they thought people were poaching them. And yeah, it's crazy, but it's really not that far.
We never said that it couldn't happen, but he was.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, like I've been up there in 1 year, and it was a 200-degree difference. He was saying that it's like everything's melting, bro, but I was like in negative 96 and then positive 90 in the same year.
Either way, he thought it was on the other side because when I told him it was on the same side as Washington, he didn't agree with me, but it's fine.
Nobody knows where Alaska is. Most people don't even think it's a state.
I mean, yeah, that sucks.
For real.
I'm